audio.
Oh, audio.
It's my recording of the audio.
I think we're a little excited to see each other.
It's been too long. I haven't enjoyed it.
Or for our listeners, it's just normal programming. But hi, Kate.
How you?
We're flapping our arms like chickens.
Yeah. And we've had like a 20-minute conversation before we started recording, and we're still so excited.
Yeah. Well, we've been very good to not reveal anything to one another. This is the first time Kate and I have spoken since I've returned from my trip to Thailand. And Kate, the magician, the mastermind, came up with this great idea that we are going to do 2 episodes this week, mini episodes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
Do you
so
want to
excited.
explain a bit more about it, Kate?
I'd absolutely love to. So, in light of our Patreon, which will be launching very soon. Now, I've already had some people asking me questions about this, which is super lovely, because I was pitching some little logos and designs and bits and pieces. But we will have a Patreon live. I'm gonna call it. It's gonna be like 3 weeks.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be like 3 or 4 weeks from now. I'll give myself that extra week buffer. But we are going to have a Patreon, and we thought, what better way to share with our listeners what sort of stuff we're going to do than put something out there. So if you like our little bonus episodes that we put together, and Dom's going to share his story about his trip, and it's going to be a little bit different, then that's something you need to get on our Patreon and subscribe to, because that's the sort of stuff that if you look at some of the tiers when they come out, you will see the content, and we're going to share some stupid shit. So
yes, you're getting a bit of a free insight taste test.
Perfect.
You're tasting and you're testing. So
your
get
testes
on it. Are involved. But this is a good example for the next 2-3 weeks of what some of our bonus stuff's going to look like. But you're getting it free now.
Yeah.
It's not going to be free forever.
No way.
Folks.
No, you get a little absolute little taste, but the next baggie is going to cost you. I'll tell you that. This is just because I'm feeling good. It's a party favor. I'm Steve Rubel, Studio 54. I got the big coat on. I'm opening it up. Quaaludes for you, Quaaludes for you, Quaaludes for you. But the next one, you're going to have to pay.
Yeah. So let's kick it off.
Yep.
For our first episode of this week, or mini-sode, or whatever we're going to call them. Shit-a-sode. Nugget-sode.
Little nug.
But yes, as if you've been listening at all the past few weeks, you would have remembered that I have just come back from a very, very much needed holiday.
Amazing.
And I have not really given much away. If you have been following on our socials, you would have seen some snippets. I'm obviously still alive. Yay for that.
Oh, spoiler.
But I have so much to share that, Kate and I thought we would do a little mini-sode on a recap of Death Island, because that was probably the big one. That was the...
Yeah. There was so much juice, but also the fact that you were going there. So all of these little episodes and stuff that we've done over the past, well, I mean, technically this is recording number 30. Yeah. So we have done a lot of recordings, which is unbelievable, but we haven't really been to many of the places that we talk about, if any. And so this is why I like this. And this is a cute little personal story that you've been there, you saw it. Yeah. And I did hear, and I'm sure you're going to get into it, but I definitely, for our listeners, I tried not to ask Dom too many questions while he was away. We were in touch whilst he was away, but I'm so excited because I did get a message where Dom was saying he's got some local inside knowledge from some convos, and I cannot wait to hear what they were. I'm so jazzed. So I'm in it just as you guys are listening now. I have no idea what Dom's about to tell us. It could be literally anything. I cannot wait.
It's always a wild ride when Dominic's talking, that's for sure.
It is.
All right, I will jump straight in. A quick reminder for folks, if you have no idea what we're talking about, please go back and listen to, I think it's episode 27, I want to say.
Yep.
Which is Death Island. I was going to Thailand. One of the small little islands to the southeast of Thailand, down near the bottom, is called Kho Tao, and it is known as Death Island. And I want to get into that in a second. But it had a string of unexplained and very, eerily close together missing persons, murders, or deaths, or whatever. One of the things that we learned from that episode is not to ask questions, Kate. Remember me telling you,
don't ask questions. Yeah. Don't talk about it. Don't ask them for the police. Like, just don't.
Do not mention the war. As John Cleese so eloquently said.
Yes, exactly.
I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry. But I do want to quickly shout out that one of the key things that I learned about going to Kho Tao and very strategically asking and mentioning the fact that we do this amazing podcast is the damage that can honestly be done by people like you and I, Kate, perpetuating stories like Death Island or referring to it as Death Island. And I got quite a bit of backlash from people locally, even mentioning the word Death Island and the fact that we'd done a story on it. And these are locals that have lived there, lived through it, and went into quite a lot of detail with me about how much that period and a lot of that media attention, and often very incorrect media attention, destroyed industries, destroyed businesses, and was just devastating on the whole island. And it was already a traumatic experience for the people that were there. And I must admit, I was quite humbled to keep my mouth shut and just listen to these people speak. And I was quite clear about the angle that we come from when we do these sorts of episodes, and we question everything. We try not to judge anything. We take everything with a grain of salt, and we do mention the fact things like had a big effect on tourism.
Yeah, so, we also make some pretty bad jokes about things as well, and we try to keep it light and bright, but you are so spot on. This is people's livelihood, and we can talk about it on our little podcast, little 30 episodes potty, and this is people's lives. So it's fascinating. I can't wait to hear more.
Yeah, I think that was the first thing that sort of hit me, is that we are very removed, and there's a very real sort of element to everything that we do. And I would recommend that and say that for every single person that does a podcast. And I'm sure all the other true crimey, horror-y, paranormally, whatever spooky types of podcasts out there, they have learned that lesson over time. And I guess this was our chance to learn the lesson. So
that's right.
Anyway, that's my feel-good Dr. Phil moment.
Disclaimer, love it.
But I really do want to shout out to a few people who really influenced and inspired me to do this episode. So pardon the names, but I said that I would shout them out.
Amazing.
I want to shout out Aries and James. Aries was my diving instructor, amazing diving instructor, and her partner James. And Krishna was also our secondary instructor on our open water diving course. The three of them were willing to really speak quite openly about what their experiences were, and they shared a lot with me, and I'm really grateful for that. But also my entire dive team, Teddy, Shantae, Rachel, Sam, Gala. Who else am I missing? Oh, and my total best bud, who was my diving partner, who totally saved my life quite a few times because he was the doctor.
Oh, wow.
Paul. So, the whole crew were amazing and really lovely, and, created such a safe space. And we talked all about Death Island, but I said that I was going to do a big shout out to all of them. So I hope they're listening. You better be listening, team.
Yeah, come on, team. Also, thank you so much for keeping Dominic alive. I love him very much, and I appreciate you. So that's my little shout out to them.
But yeah, I'll talk about diving in a little bit because that's a whole nother topic of fear of mine.
I literally thought that when you said diving in open water, I was like, oh, red flags, red flags.
Yes, absolutely. But a little bit more on Death Island. I visited a few places. I heard different versions of different stories. I met a lot of families and expats and local people, and I had nothing but glowing things to say about such a beautiful island, beautiful people, an island that has done such a good job of balancing tourism and all the bad shit that comes along with tourism, keeping things clean and respectful, like really trying to encourage people to respect the island that they're on and the natural beauty that it holds, more so than probably any other island in Thailand. Like, this island is no joke, an oasis, already an oasis, but it's by far probably my favorite island that I've ever visited, and it's because of the people, and it is totally safe. I had no concerns about that. I went to many more dangerous places. Walking along the beaches and seeing some of the venues made it very real, some of these stories. So my heart definitely goes out to those families that did lose people. But I have walked away from that island going, there is no reason to believe that there's any sort of bad juju or organized crime or danger lurking in the shadows. This place is probably safer than most places that you would go to in Thailand. And there's, I think, a lot of what has been showed in the media is very circumstantial and not accurate and does not depict this island in the way that it should be depicted. So I will no longer be referring to it as Death Island.
Okay.
I will be referring to it as Kho Tao, and I want to apologize to anyone that was, somewhat offended, but I am breaking the cycle, and I highly recommend everyone goes there. It's such an amazing place.
Do you think, can we change our episode title? Is that a thing we can go back and do, or now that it's published, is that too hard? I'm literally on board. I'm so on board with just like being there, being at the source. And I know that might sound funny, and we already had it on there, and we said Death Island like 900 times, but I'm actually like so on board to do that if that's a thing.
I think people make mistakes many times, and we're going to make many mistakes. We will. We always will.
So many. Yeah, and we already did today, easily.
Yeah, and I think it's better to not try and hide them and backtrack on those mistakes.
Yes,
I think it's much better to own up to them.
Yeah.
So we won't be calling this Death Island Part 2 or anything like that.
That would be doubling down on our error. I love that. Oh, you're so wise, Dom. See, this is what I've been missing the last few weeks. Too many dumb decisions I've made since you've been gone. Too many.
Don't worry, I made plenty of dumb decisions while I was over there as well. Perfect. But I think the lesson I've learned from all of this, like, let's walk away with the lesson, is any of the crap that you read online, it's online. And don't ever not go visit a place purely because you've read of an experience or even a few bad experiences, because you've got to give places a chance. And this is an island that if you went to any island in Thailand, go to this one. It's totally worth it.
It sounds incredible. Yeah, it really does.
Okay, enough of that. Kate.
Dominic.
Focus on me right now.
I'm focusing.
Listeners, listen to this. I fucking survived swimming 18 meters underwater. Not once, not twice, not thrice, but 4 fucking times. I deep sea dived and didn't die. Oh my God.
You did it 5 times? I can't believe you did it that many times. That's what, listeners, I've known Dominic since we were born. And I have known of this fear that Dom has had since he was born. Yeah. And so it really is a huge deal. And I'm shocked. Like, I'm gagged that you've done this 4 times. That's, I want to hear more about the journey of it. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about the first day. Like, it's
I'll try and be quick, but it was So my partner Kane, one of my partners, Kane, is a diver, has dived many times before, loves diving, and we've never gotten a chance to do it together because I'm not qualified. And he very gently suggested, hey, how about we go to Kho Tao, which is meant to be one of the best diving spots in the world. And how would you feel about going for your open water license? And I was like, oh
Yeah.
my
Oh my gosh.
God, I shat myself just at the
Yeah.
mention of it.
Yeah. My butt puckered and then poo came
Yeah.
out. Bad day.
Because I'm legitimately mainly afraid of not being able to see the bottom of the ocean floor and of sharks.
Yes.
To whittle it down, I just
Perfect.
don't like large bodies of open water where I can't see things. And Jaws scarred me for life. Thanks,
Yeah.
Paul Taranto.
But I think that those are reasonable fears. So I don't think those are irrational fears. I
No.
think the thought of not being able to see in the bottom of the water and you possibly drowning and then a shark eating you. There you
Yeah.
go. Pretty rational.
Pretty rational, but I'm a person that loves to face my fears 100%. So I said, yes, let's go do it. This is the best way to do it. I mean, if I can't dive in one of the most beautiful places in the world, then I'm probably never going to get over this. And the good thing is there's not really any shark infestation. There's no sharks really. And if
Yeah.
there are sharks, they're like smaller than my foot.
The little
type
baby
thing.
ones.
Little
Yeah,
ones.
okay.
So I couldn't have picked a safer place to do it. Anyway, it's a 3-day 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. You're studying. Like you've got to read a whole fucking book. You got to do tests and quizzes and things. Like you don't just go out and start swimming.
And you did
have
this
to
on a
go.
holiday?
I did this on a holiday.
Goodness me, you are such a studious little number. Look at you go.
I have to admit, it was very intense, like physically draining. But they really do. I did it with PADI, P-A-D-I, which if you're a diver, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And your first step is to do open water course, and it takes 3 days, like I said. And then you can do advanced, where you do through wrecks and dive deeper, and you can learn how to do rescue diving, and you can do all sorts of, levels
of
and
things.
other courses that you can do to become an open water, like a master diver and stuff like this.
And then a Navy SEAL.
Sure, why not? But we did it as a group. I mentioned my crew, and obviously none of us were divers. And they were like a really lovely group of people. I was probably the oldest person there, but that's okay.
That's fine. You still look stunning. You are so stunning, though. People are not going to question your age.
But yeah, we went through it all together. I'm sure people were somewhat nervous, but I straight up was just like, hi, my name's Dominic, and I am fucking petrified, like next level scared of
like, why am I
water.
Here? What am I doing?
So just gonna put that out there. Good luck. You don't want to be my dive buddy. But to wrap things all up, we did a few dives over the course of the day, the 3 days, and did more tests and learn more skills and learn what to do in emergencies and all that sort of stuff. I did not once panic, Kate. Not even for a millisecond did I look over my shoulder or panic about breathing underwater. It was such a magical thing to do. And I was so focused on learning all my things and making sure I did everything correctly that I didn't have time to be afraid.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
I have to give another shout out to Aries. She is an exceptional instructor, and you can get lots of shit instructors, I've been told. She is amazing, and I really hope she's listening to this. I cannot recommend her enough, and I can't recommend the Sari Cottage Diving School enough. It was life-changing. I'm so glad I did it. I got an ear infection, but I pushed through, and I'm well and truly going to dive again. So
that's so cool. Oh, I'm so excited that you've just experienced something that you would never do. Really, like honestly, if I had have asked you 12 months ago, let's go scuba diving, I feel like you would have been like, no bueno. I love Kane's energy around that too, not pressuring you into it and just throwing it out there, saying, hey, I've dived before. Would you consider maybe give it a crack? And also the fact that because we recorded one of our episodes at your apartment, and Kane was booking the holiday, or finalizing bits and pieces of the holiday whilst I was there. And when I was speaking to him, and he said, this is a much needed holiday. I've been able to convince Dominic to go on because
Mm.
he doesn't take a lot of breaks. He doesn't go on a lot of holidays. So we finally managed to do it. We're off, we're going. So I feel like it's the double of having that support, such a, like having a partner that's so supportive, and then having that opportunity to go on your holiday and have a nice relaxed time, and then have such an amazing crew by the sounds of it. That's so
Yeah,
cool. Did you
I
take any
like that.
pictures with them?
Yes, so
Amazing.
I put in some of our Insta stories pictures of me and the crew, and
Yeah.
there's some GoPro material of me actually diving. I am going to say that I was probably the best at my trim, and trim means staying, horizontal with the sea floor and
Yeah.
paddling and managing my buoyancy perfectly. So I was just, clearly
You're just cruising around.
I was meant to dive. I'm
You
sure
were just
they all
like
thought they were good too. But
top of the class. I love it. You're just like, I never want to do this. I'm paranoid and petrified of the ocean, but I'm going to be the best at it.
yeah, it was
That's so good.
life-changing. I'm sure it's not for everyone, but I had the best time, and I'm so glad that I did it. And if you ever get the chance to do it, you've got the time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a commitment, but you will love every minute of it. There's nothing like breathing underwater and moving underwater and seeing tens of thousands of fish and all this coral, and so cool.
Yeah. I feel like even just like not what you see, but just that, as you said, that experience of just being underwater and breathing. And like, this is so unnatural, but I'm doing it and I feel safe and guided, and I've got my partner and I've learned all my stuff, and I got to check all my dials and my stuff and my buoyancy. What was it called again? What's the balance one?
Trim.
Got to check my trim. Am I looking trim, Kim? Am I cream?
Anyway,
That's
so
cool.
That's only a snippet, but I'm not going to go into the whole trip. I've come back, I won't say relaxed, because it was like go, 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 go. We
Intense,
did
sure.
everything all day, every day. Kane and I are not good at sitting still, but I've definitely come back having had some great adventures and made some great memories. And I did not die. Diving is very, I'm still going to say it, it's scary. And I am going to do an episode about being underwater and sharks and all the things that do scare me. So I will reference more about the trip when we do that episode. But
amazing.
That's a good update and a good first bonus episode for those that listened.
Yes. So hopefully, listeners, you enjoy our little bonus content. We are floating a few different ideas because we'll have some mini episodes that we will do and some extra stuff for our sort of middle to top tier Patreons who have birthdays. Which could be you. Do you have a birthday? Our Patreon's perfect for you. We just want to make it a little bit more personalized, and obviously when we get to 100,000 subscribers, we still want to do our best to be as personable and intimate as possible. So keep your eyes peeled. We will obviously promote it heavily on our socials, but I want to do a little shout out to our new listeners, because Dominic informed me that we have tripled our listeners over the past couple of weeks, and that's kind of ongoing. And I feel like another shout out, that is part of our BooPod network growing. It is growing and growing, and if you haven't heard of our BooPod network before, it is a group of like-minded podcasts that promote each other. So we have a huge crew that is growing, and it's a lot of people are reaching out to different countries and audiences and everything like that. So we are so excited. It's onwards and upwards.
Yes. Big shout out to our BooPod network. We're not doing any shout outs this week or features this week because it's
specific.
It's a bit of a transition-y week with me coming back, but we will definitely pick up our regular features as of next week. But a big thank you to them, and a big thank you to any of you that are new listeners. We are so happy to have you along. I hope you think we're funny. We think we're funny.
That's all that matters, Dom. As long as we think we're funny. I love it. All right. That was so cute. I like a little bonus epi.
Yep.
Now we can go and record our other one.
I wonder what it'll be.
I don't even know. Oh my God.
Stay tuned.
Oh, that was super cute. I loved that.
Yeah.